Hello everyone, welcome, and thank you for joining me today. So as some of you may know, I just spent some time in Grand Teton National Park and I had a blast. Admittedly, the destination did have its ups and downs, but all in all it was a great experience. And I was able to collect some valuable information for the next time I visit the Tetons. However, before I do go any further, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more travel related content, throw a like on the video, and be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description. Now, I received a comment on my last video requesting that I provide a little more background into the locations that I visit, mainly history, significance, and why I chose to visit said location. Now, for some of the locations that I plan on visiting in the future, I'm mainly just going there because I've never been there. And that was a similar situation with the Black Hills. I knew I was going west, and that location was a highly praised suggestion from someone who I pretty much consider to be my wilderness mentor at this point. He's lent me equipment for backpacking. He's given me some valuable survival tips for when I'm out in the wilderness. His son and I are close friends, and we've gone backpacking together. And once he knew I was going to the Tetons, he also suggested that I hike the Death Canyon Trail. And I have to say that trail is probably my favorite hike of all time so far. Honestly, I likely would not be as skilled in the wilderness as I am now without some of his guidance. So if you're watching this, you know who you are. Much appreciation to you. Now, as far as the Tetons go, they actually do hold quite a bit of significance for me because my love for the outdoors essentially started there. When I was in high school, I landed a really good summer internship with the Urban Ecology Center of Milwaukee. At this internship, we essentially ran day camps for kids where we would assist with activities such as canoeing, rock climbing, fishing, etc. We also did wildlife surveys and assisted with invasive species removals. And the final big incentive for finishing this summer program was a trip to Wyoming where we visited the Tetons and Yellowstone National Park. And that trip is what sparked my love for outdoor exploration. And without that experience, I likely would not have turned to the wilderness the way that I have. Now, if we take my experience with the Urban Ecology Center a step further, my final task with the organization was to attend a job fair with the goal of finding a replacement for my position once I graduated. Long story short, that job fair led me to my college led me to my fraternity, and my fraternity led me to a group of men who helped me hone my work ethic, my self-confidence, and the belief that anything is possible. You can have anything you want if you're willing to work for it. Every brother, mentor, teacher, advisor that I have now are all linked to that experience with my summer internship. And one of my fondest memories of said internship is visiting the Tetons. And that is the main reason I decided to go back to that destination. It will forever, for that reason, hold a special place in my heart. With that said, I'm very excited to show you my experiences at Grand Teton National Park this time around. I hope you enjoy. I just made it to Grand Teton National Park, and I feel like South Dakota was just a warm-up. I mean, those mountains back there are massive. So for those of you who don't know, the Tetons are the first mountains that I've ever seen. So being back here now, about 11 years later, it's kind of a big deal for me. So I'm happy to be here. A little bit overwhelmed, to be honest. Definitely the biggest park I've ever been to. Just looking at the size of the mountains, the size of the maps, the hikes are going to be ridiculous. But I just got here, so I'll do some research, do some looking around, and I'll check in with you guys later. See ya. Hello everyone, and welcome to my first day in Grand Teton National Park. So my first day here is going to be pretty straightforward. My game plan for today is to hike some of the smaller trails. I'll do a couple of lake trails and kind of get a feel for the area. Reason being is because Being in the mountains like this, there are a lot of new factors that I have to take into account. For one thing, the temperature change between night and day is very drastic. It'll be freezing at night and blazing hot during the day, so I have to make sure that I'm properly equipped for that. Also, there are more threatening wildlife out here. There are moose and bears that I have to be properly equipped to deal with if that situation does come up. So I need to make sure that I'm ready to handle that. Also, when I was in the Tetons 11 years ago, I was with a group of people, and the people leading that group were familiar with the trails, so they knew what we were getting into. This time around, I'm kind of braving things on my own, so I have to go and research the trails and make sure that I'm properly equipped before I head out. I have to know how long it's going to take, how strenuous the journey is going to be, more or less just to make sure that I have everything I need to make sure that the journey goes smoothly. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get ready. I'm very excited to show you all what's out here. I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, and welcome to my second full day at Grand Teton National Park. So yesterday I did a considerable amount of hiking. I was out on the trails for about 6.5 hours. Needless to say, I was pretty exhausted afterwards. So today is a rest day. I'm just taking some time to rest up, do some reading, stretch a bit, and make sure that I'm all ready for tomorrow's hike. It is mid-afternoon, and I've finally managed to find a nice quiet rest spot. And something I should mention, if you don't have access to a campsite or a camper or any place where you can set up a tent, it is very hard to get away from people in this park. Vehicle parking isn't necessarily hard to come by, but just about anywhere you can park, you can pretty much expect there to be people there. Campgrounds, scenic outlooks, picnic areas, lodge parking lots, pretty much anywhere. Obviously, this is a huge tourist destination, and I knew that when I came here, but it's also a huge park with threatening wildlife about, and I understand there have to be restrictions in order to protect people. Now, with that said, there were a lot of restrictions that I was not familiar with this park in particular when it comes to camping and backpacking, setting up tents, etc. And I'll admit they do work a lot differently than other places that I have been. So, if you are going to be planning a trip to Grand Teton National Park, I'm going to go over a couple of things that you might want to keep in mind just so that you're prepared when you get out here. You are only allowed to park overnight and camp at designated campgrounds. Each campground has a set amount of campsites. Once those campsites are gone, they're gone, and they are dished out on a first come, first served basis. Now, if you happen to find a vacant campsite, it does cost extra to actually use said campsite. So if you come out here with the expectation of parking an RV at a campsite or pitching a tent at a campsite, be prepared to spend a little extra money. Now, with it being midsummer, pretty much all of the campgrounds are full. I've been here for 2 nights, and I haven't been able to find an open spot at any campground so far. Fortunately, I can still park at the campgrounds and sleep in my car. I just cannot set up a tent or sleep outside without access to a campsite. There are designated backcountry campsites available if you are backpacking. In order to use those, you do need a permit. Right now, that permit costs $35. Bear spray is recommended on all trails, even the less intense lake trails. I got this can of bear spray at one of the camp stores here. It costs around $50. And that about does it, folks. Those are just a few things to keep in mind in case you are planning a trip out to Grand Teton National Park. I'm going to relax here a bit for the rest of the day. Enjoy this rare, peaceful spot that I found. Tomorrow I'll be setting out on a really big hike. I'm really excited for it. Be prepared. With that said, I'll talk to you folks later. See ya. Alright, so obviously I'm not at the Death Canyon trailhead right now. I'm recording this post-hike because when I got near the trailhead, I saw this bear. It looks like a young grizzly, and I didn't want any additional noise or recording to draw the bear closer to me. So I just stood there with my spray at the ready, waiting for it to go ahead and pass. Fortunately, the bear did move fairly quickly, so it got out of the area and I was able to go on straight through to the trail. But there you go. I hope you enjoy the rest of the hike. Hey there folks, I'm on the Death Canyon Trail and this is a nice challenge. It's pretty steep, it's very rocky, it's a long trail, but take a look out there. That view can't be beat. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Still got probably quite a bit to go. But when I complete the trail, I'll let you know. Right now, I'm about an hour and a half in, so still got some time. Let's try and get this done. See ya. Hey there folks, still on my way on the trail of Death Canyon, and check this out. That is really close. It's one thing seeing these mountains from a distance, but it's incredible being up close and personal like this. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. I'll see you later. Everyone, still on that hike on the Death Canyon Trail, and I've come across something really remarkable. I'm standing in between two mountains here, as you can see here and there, and right back here we have where the water is cutting into the canyon. Truly incredible. Oh. And then you have all of that back there. Oh. It's a little loud back there, but definitely a highlight of the trail that I definitely cannot pass up. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. I'll see you folks in a bit. Hey everyone, I found what looks like to be the source of the stream. It's at the top of the rocky part of Death Canyon, but just take a look at that. It's incredible, and that water is crystal clear. I'm gonna take a break right here because actually I found a great spot just to sit, have a snack, relax for a bit, and then I'm gonna keep on keeping on. I'll see you folks later. just made it to the end of Death Canyon. Check it out. And if you want some additional proof, leaving Death Canyon camping zone. It's a pretty rough hike out here. I was thinking about going up to Marion Lake, which is right up there, but that is a straight climb for probably about a good half mile, I'm not sure. So I'm already pushing it. It took me about 4.5 hours to get out here. I should probably start heading back. Right now it's about 4:30. I got about 4.5 hours before nightfall. So, but anyway, as for Death Canyon, that's score 1 for Jerry. I'll see you guys later. And there you have it, folks. There's my trip to Grand Teton National Park. Next time I go, I might have to mix it up a bit. When I went this time around, I wasn't sure where any of the backcountry campsites were because they are not marked on the map. Once you get out onto the trails, you'll find signposts that'll tell you where the campsites are, and they're pretty easy to find after that. So now with that knowledge, next time I go, I'll definitely go with the intention of going out and backpacking, because it's going to be a lot closer to the experience that I had when I originally went to the Tetons 11 years ago. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a longer video. I would like your feedback on this. Let me know if you would like me to do one big video when I cover a larger destination, or if you would like me to chop it up into smaller videos. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section. But that is all for now. So keep your spirits high, let the good vibes flow, and we shall meet again. See ya.